down. The House Transportation, Mobility, and Infrastructure Committee will come to order. Would the clerk please take attendance?
Chair Shannon.
Present.
Representatives McDonald.
Present.
Conlon.
Present.
Edwards.
Here.
Farhat.
Here.
Fitzgerald.
Here.
Hoskins.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Outman.
Here.
Roth.
Here.
Bruck.
Present.
Kuntz.
Here.
St. Germain.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have 13 members present. You do have a quorum.
Thank you. I need a motion to adopt the minutes from last meeting on February 6th. Representative Farhat makes that motion. Seeing no opposition, the minutes are adopted. Today, I'm proposing an additional committee rule regarding testimony to clarify our procedures. You each have a copy of the proposed rules at your seat. Vice Chair McDonald moves to adopt the committee rule. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Proposed committee rule. Chair Shannon.
Yes.
Representatives McDonald.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Farhat.
Yes.
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Hoskins.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Outman.
Yes.
Roth.
Yes.
Bruck.
Yay.
Kuntz.
Yes.
St. Germain.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 13 yeas, 0 nays, 0 pass. The proposed committee rule is adopted.
the committee will come to order. Today on the agenda, we'll be voting out House Bill 5151 and then taking testimony on House Bills 5378 and 5379. To get started here, first of all, the committee will go at ease.
The House Transportation, Mobility, and Infrastructure Committee will come to order. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Turn the page. Chair Shannon, the floor is yours to discuss HB 5151.
Well, thank you so much, Madam Chair and members of the committee. I'm very happy to be here today. Next to me is Sergeant Lamar Kashat of the Sterling Heights Police Department, and a member of Officer Imus' family, Sherry Carnell, joins us virtually, and we'll get to her in a minute or two. House Bill 5151 amends the Michigan Memorial Highway to create the Officer Leroy Imus Memorial Highway. Officer Leroy Imus Memorial Highway will be on M53 running through the center of Sterling Heights from 17 Mile Road north to Hall Road. I will have Sergeant Kashat followed by Sherry take it from here. So if you could please recognize Sergeant Kashat.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Please, the floor is yours now.
Thank you. Members of the Traffic Committee, I appreciate the time for allowing me to be here today. My name is Sergeant Lamar Kashat. I'm a police officer with the City of Sterling Heights. It's been my goal and initiative to attempt to create a proposal to at least have a bill passed in memory of Officer Leroy Imus. Just to give you a backstory, on December 2nd, 1971, Officer Imus had conducted a traffic stop on M53 within the limits of Sterling Heights. Upon that conclusion of the traffic stop, as he was preparing to walk back to his vehicle, he was struck by another vehicle, ultimately taking his life. It's been approximately 53 years later. He was 35 at the time. He left behind his wife and 4 children. We understand that thousands of people are injured in motor vehicle crashes every year, and some of those resulting in loss of life. I believe that not only do we owe an honor to Officer Leroy's life by attempting to create some sort of dedication in his honor, but I believe that even within the crest of the City of Sterling Heights, we have a motto that says to strive on behalf of all. I believe this bill is very important. I believe it creates recognition not only for Mr. Imus' family, but it allows everyone that travels through the City of Sterling Heights and within the state of Michigan to realize that we did have members in public safety that were serving, and we recognize their service. Ultimately, that service cost him his life and in turn cost his family's life. I have been in communication with his family. If we can get an opportunity to speak with them, they've been pretty supportive. I think everybody's excited about this presentation, and I'm looking for the board's approval. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kashat. Do we have any questions? Thank you. We also have Sherry Cornell online virtually, but we do not have audio for her yet. Can she turn that on? Hello, Ms. Cornell. We will go at ease for a moment.
That's okay.
The House Transportation, Mobility, and Infrastructure Committee will come to order. Mrs. Sherry Cornell, the floor is yours.
Good morning. I'm speaking on behalf of the Imus family. I am Leroy and Nancy's oldest daughter. I was 9 years old when this happened. The way my father served his community, I feel that the community needs to make this happen, to acknowledge the commitment he made to his community and keeping it safe for future generations.
Do you have anything to add to that? Or we can take questions.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Representative Brooke has a question.
I want to say thank you, Representative Shannon and Sergeant Kashat.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your testimony today. Appreciate you bringing this bill to the committee. I did have one question. Has your committee raised the funding necessary for the signage yet?
Is that for me? Oh.
It's in progress.
It's in progress?
Yes,
Okay.
in progress, yep.
Awesome. But that was my only question. Make sure you get out there. We did some fundraising when I did a road bill, and they just raised the money very quickly. And a cause like this certainly should be very quickly raised, I would assume, given the community and the nature of the renaming. But no, we appreciate your service and Chair Shannon for bringing this up. You got my support 100%. Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and I don't foresee it being a problem to raise the money for it, so.
If I could add to
Yes.
So to answer part of that question, I'm a member of our department's honor guard, and the honor guard is deployed anytime there is a line of duty death funeral. And most of our initiatives are to honor officers that have been killed in the line of duty. So we solicit donations from the community through various fundraisers. So funds would then be allocated to get this project moving, as that is the scope of our job.
Thank you. Representative Roth has a question.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Chair Shannon, I've never asked this question. How many signs usually are in that stretch? Do they do like one at the beginning, one at the end, or I've never asked that question?
We're proposing to add the sign to. So as Van Dyke, Van Dyke is also known as M53. So it's a three-lane roadway, and then it becomes a freeway. And so the part that Officer Imus was killed at is where at 18 Mile, where the actual freeway starts. And so as of right now, we propose that from 17 to Hall Road, which is 20 Mile essentially, would be the stretch that would be dedicated to Officer Imus. We can put we will likely put the sign at about 18 Mile, but 17 to 20 would be dedicated to Officer Imus. And then there is, as far as I know, down to 696, which is basically 10 or 11 Mile, to 17 Mile. I don't believe there is no other dedicated memorial sign in that stretch. We're taking a look at it as a possibility for another officer that was killed in line of duty in Sterling Heights. So as of right now, there's nothing there.
Good deal. I just never asked that question.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any more questions? If no, thank you very much for your testimony. The House Transportation, Mobility, and Infrastructure Committee will stand at ease.
The House Transportation, Mobility, and Infrastructure Committee will come to order. Do I have any cards to read in on this one? Okay. I need a motion to report House Bill 5151 with recommendation. Representative Conlon makes that motion. Would the clerk please take a roll call vote?
On the motion to report House Bill 5151, Chair Shannon.
Yes.
Representatives McDonald,
Yes.
Conlon,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Farhat,
Yes.
Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Hoskins,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Outman,
Yes.
Roth,
Yes.
Bruck,
Absolutely.
Kuntz,
Yes.
St. Germain.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 13 yeas, 0 nays, 0 pass. House Bill 5151 is reported with recommendation.
HB 5151 is reported with recommendation. Thank you very much, everyone. Next up, we have House Bill 5378 and 5379. Would Representative Hill and Representative Preston please come forward? Joining is Henry Schinabeck. Sorry about that. And also, who is the Executive Director of the Great Lakes Timber Professionals Association, or otherwise known as GLTPA. And then also, Representative, if you would like to introduce your other guest. Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, Representative Preston could not be here today, and Cameron Bruno is here in his place.
Welcome. Let me see here. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair Shannon and members of the Transportation Mobility Committee. I'm here to talk about HB 5379. It's an update to a common sense change that we made a few years ago. Under the International Fuel Tax Agreement, carrying freight by truck over state lines typically requires stringent reporting. In many cases, this system works as intended. It provides a solution to the complexities of collecting tax revenue for long-haul trucks that regularly deliver products and refuel at locations across multiple states. However, for UP logging companies, it has been an impractical system. Our loggers are frequently transporting wood to the same mills located in Michigan and Wisconsin. So they're going to the same places across state lines multiple times a week. These are short routes that do not change. Given the regularity of this travel to the same nearby locations, the IFTA, the International Fuel Tax paperwork and reporting requirements are redundant and onerous. In 2022, my fellow member of the UP delegation representing the 110th, Rep. Markkinen, got a bill passed to cut through the red tape and streamline this process. His legislation allowed, but did not require, the Treasury to enter into reciprocal fuel tax agreements with other states for transportation of raw forest products within 30 air miles of the state border. It's a valuable piece of legislation that's helped UP loggers, allowing them to focus on the work of moving product instead of spending time filling out paperwork. Unfortunately, the previous legislation included a misinterpretation of the necessary air mile limit needed for the new law to function as intended. To include all the mills in the UP, the law needs to limit these agreements to locations within 50 air miles, not 30, as is currently written. The issue was not discovered until the Michigan-Wisconsin agreement had already been executed. As a result, one of our primary mills, the one in Escanaba, now owned by Billerud, was excluded. I want to see this issue corrected so that the benefits of this agreement with our neighboring state can be extended to all of UP's loggers without this unintended exclusion. And in particular, I want to point out that the mill in question is in Rep. Preston's district, and I appreciate the opportunity to put this forward on their behalf of the 108th.
Regarding the mill in Escanaba, it's one of the largest employers in the Upper Peninsula and in the 108th District. Hundreds of employees working at a single mill, which is big in any district, but especially is important in the Upper Peninsula. As far as what House Bill 5378 does, it just takes some of those weights that were amended in House Bill 5379 and puts that in code in the Motor Carrier Fuel Tax Act. So, and then I'll defer to Henry.
Mr. Chair, committee members, thank you. As you said, I'm Executive Director for Great Lakes Timber Professionals Association, formerly Michigan, Wisconsin Timber Producers Association, but we merged a bunch of groups together and changed the name to be a little bit more encompassing. I'm a former self-employed logger trucker of 32 years before I went to work for the association. So I used to deal with the paperwork when I was going back and forth across the border, and it's short distances, 10, 15, 20 miles, but you have to use the air miles when you're looking at reciprocity agreements and those types of things. And as Representative Hill said, we missed that little detail of 30 to 50 miles, so we've worked with motor carriers, and I'm very appreciative of Treasury. They've been a fantastic partner in looking at the details of this and getting the language and everything done for us. And Representative Markkinen did a very good job last session, and we thank Representative Hill and Representative Preston for bringing it up this time to get this corrected. It's been really useful. We had some folks testify last time where they spent weeks doing reports and ended up like owing a 30-cent cashier's check to Treasury. That's how onerous it was, and unfortunately she was just not able to participate in the hearing today, but it's just been a real blessing for us to not have to do that paperwork. I mean, loggers in general want to cut wood and haul it to the same mill and go home at night, and they all have their own fuel depots and stuff at home, so it's just been really, really helpful to not have to do this, because when I first started doing IFTA, it was pretty simple. I just had my sheet. I'd mark down if I went to Bessemer plywood, for instance, 1, 2, 3, 5 loads that week, times that many miles done. Now they want you to write down the road, the miles every time. I mean, it's just a lot of paperwork for not much benefit to anybody. So appreciate you taking the testimony today, and ask that you support this and we can get it corrected. Thank you.
Definitely sounds like something we should fix. So I do have one question so far. Representative Kuntz.
Sir, I don't know if it's a fair question to ask. So all of your carriers run under MPSC? They don't have IFTA decals?
Some of them do right now because they're required to, but they wouldn't have to under this change.
Got it. So the goal, okay, because they're not taking this long distances across state lines.
Correct. Some of the mills are within a mile of the state line, and
Very
that's basically our target. You're going to the same mill, the same place every day. Just when you're doing air miles, it's only 2 miles in, but it might take you a longer.
I understand, yeah. Road miles, if is taxed by road mile.
Correct.
But I just wonder if you're going to go MPSC. Thank you.
Any other questions? Doesn't look like it. Do have a couple cards to read in. Peter Moorman from the Department of Treasury does not wish to speak, supports the bill. Justin Nepper from the Michigan Association of Timbermen, okay, does not wish to speak, supports the bill. So thank you, representatives, and thank you for coming in today to give testimony. I need a motion. Well, we don't have any absent members. There being no further business before the committee will stand adjourned.